This is Finance in a Global Context for Fin 303 at CSUN, and I'm Jim Dow. This is the first of two PowerPoints on global finance in this class. In this one, we'll provide a little overview, and then we'll focus on how to do some basic exchange rate calculations. Most of the basic principles we explore in this class, for example, the time value of money or the risk-return trade-off, are the same across countries. However, you do find differences across countries. These may be due to different institutions. For example, banking laws may differ, or firms in some countries may rely more on debt than in other countries. Another difference is different countries use different currencies. For most principles in finance, which currency we use doesn't make any difference. But we will need to be concerned when we are switching between currencies. For example, a U.S. company may be selling products in Japan, and we would need to know how much the yen it's getting is worth in dollars. We have an advanced course in international finance, and if you are interested in international business, it would be a good course for you to take. Currencies are exchanged in what we call the foreign exchange market. What we call the wholesale market is made up of large international banks. They exchange millions of dollars worth of currencies, and the exchange rates, the price of one currency in terms of another, is very competitive. However, there are also institutions that specialize in smaller transactions. For example, if you or I would like to exchange currencies. We'll see why this difference matters in a moment. Most countries have their own currency. Sometimes a group of countries will use the same currency, such as the countries of the European Union. For the purposes of this class, you need to know the currencies associated with the following countries: Canada and the Canadian dollar, Mexico and the peso, Brazil and the real, Japan and the yen, China and yuan, Korea and the won, and the European Union, here including Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and others, using the euro, and the United Kingdom and the pound. The price of one currency in terms of another currency is called the exchange rate. Since there are two currencies, there are two ways to quote an exchange rate. If we are talking about the exchange rate between the dollar and the euro, that curly E is the symbol for the euro. If $1 gives you 0.91 euros, I'll write the exchange rate as 0.191 euros per dollar. Or we can quote it the other way. If 1 euro is exchanged for $1.1, the exchange rate is $1.1 per euro. For wholesale markets, given one exchange rate, you can find the other by taking the reciprocal. In our case, 1 over 0.91 is approximately 1.1. Usually exchange rates are reported to more decimals, so the approximation is even better. Because of this, you will sometimes see exchange rates reported only one way, since you can always find the other way. Again, we can only do this for wholesale markets, not for small transactions like you and I might face. This is because of what we call the bid-ask spread. I'll explain in a couple of slides. We'll start with some simple problems. To keep things simple, we're going to assume that there is no bid-ask spread, so we can calculate one exchange rate as the reciprocal of the other. We'll use the dollar and the pound and assume an exchange rate of 0.5 pounds per dollar. If you have $100, how many pounds can you get? We multiply $100 by 0.5 pounds per dollar to get 50 pounds. If you have 100 pounds, how many dollars can you get? If you tried to multiply 100 pounds by the pound-dollar exchange rate, you'd get pounds squared divided by dollars. Multiply the currency symbols and see. And that doesn't make any sense. You need to multiply 100 pounds by $2 per pound, and we get $200. We see that pounds cancel out. Try it. And we end with dollars, which is what we want. You can always check to see if you're using the correct exchange rate by seeing if things cancel. Where did we get that exchange rate? The reciprocal of 0.5 pounds per dollar is $2 per pound. Here's another problem. You want to have 1,000 pounds. How many dollars will you need? If there's no bid-ask spread, the shortcut way to do this is to work it backwards and multiply 1,000 pounds by the $2 per pound exchange rate. A more general way is to start with an unknown amount of dollars, X, and then multiply that by the pound-dollar exchange rate, which must equal 1,000 pounds. Solving for X, we get $2,000. With smaller or retail currency transactions, it becomes more complicated. The exchange will quote two rates for each pair of currencies, a bid price and an ask price. In a finance context, bid refers to buying and ask refers to selling. The exchange will offer one rate it will buy the currency at and a different rate it will sell the currency at. You have to pay more to get a currency than you would get if you sold it back to the exchange. This is called the bid-ask spread. Let's walk through a transaction between you and a currency exchange using dollars and euros. If you give them dollars, they will give you euros. From their point of view, they are selling you euros and buying dollars, so they will quote a price for euros. In our example, the exchange rate, or dollar price of euros, is 0.85 euros per dollar. If you give them euros and they give you dollars, from their point of view, they are selling dollars and buying euros. Here they quote a price for dollars of $1.05 per euro. If we take the reciprocal of this, we get 0.95 euros per dollar, so we can see that the exchange rates are not the same. Let's do some exchange rate calculations with the bid-ask spread. First, we'll see how currency exchanges profit from exchange. Like the last slide, the quoted exchange rates are 0.85 euros per dollar and $1.05 per euro. We start with $100 and buy euros. $100 multiplied by 0.85 euros per dollar equals 85 euros. Be sure to use the right exchange rate. Use the canceling test if you're unsure. We take those euros and buy dollars. 85 euros multiplied by $1.05 per euro is $89.25. We started with $100 and ended with a little more than $89. The difference is the profit for the exchange. Let's do one more calculation. How many dollars do you need to get 1,000 euros? Because of the bid-ask spread, we need to use our general method. We write out the equation, x dollars multiplied by 0.85 euros per dollar equals 1,000 euros. Solving for x gives us $1,176.47.